YouTube, what's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, man? We back with another video. Y'all know who it is. It's your boy Jake. We back in this thing. We're gonna start it off, man. It's day 2 of the round 1 of the NBA playoffs, first round. Let's get right into it, man. Starting off with the number 4 Celtics versus the number 5 Pacers. The Celtics are 7th in three-point percentage, 29th in free throws attempted, 4th in free throw percentage, 22nd in rebounds, 5th in assists, 3rd fewest turnovers in the league, 4th in steals, 6th highest point differential in the league at plus 4.4, 8th in points allowed, and 4th in opponent field goal percentage. So this team can do a lot of different things. They can play well on offense as well as defense. So the key players for them, of course, is one of them being Kyrie Irving, Uncle Drew, 23 points, 6 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 steal, shooting 40% from the three-point line. So that's really good year for him. Jason Tatum, 15 points a game, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 37.3% from the three-point line. Al Horford, 13 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 block, 36% from 3. He does a lot of things that aren't in the stat sheet. He boxes out, he battles for position, he gets offensive boards, he does a little bit of everything that doesn't really show up as a primary stat when you're looking for a good teammate, a good player. Marcus Morris, 13 points a game, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 37.5% from 3. They like to see him taking threes. Jaylen Brown filling in for the injured Marcus Smart, 13 points a game, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Off the bench, they have a couple of key players. Terry Rozier, a.k.a. Scary Terry, 9 points a game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists a game. Gordon Hayward, 11 points a game, 4 rebounds, 3 assists. Hayward was expected to be a starter coming back from injury, but it just didn't turn out that way. He didn't gel with the team, couldn't really run. People were saying they were slowing them down. He was slowing them down. Just didn't really work out. They got him coming off the bench. Don't expect him to be in Boston much longer, honestly. Looking on the other side of that, the Pacers have the 4th fewest fouls per game, so they play clean. 3rd in steals, 9th in assists, 22nd in free throw percentage, 23rd in free throws attempted, 5th in three-point percentage, 29th in threes attempted, 4th in field goal percentage, 22nd in points per game, 1st in points allowed, 6th in opponent field goal percentage. So this team plays much better on defense. They play much better on defense than they do on offense overall. This team is really lacking that closer that they had in Victor Oladipo. They're lacking that star player that can take over a game and carry the team to the win when they need it. But moving on to the key players, Bojan Bogdanovic. Okay, I think I got it right. Bogdanovic. All right. 18 points a game. He led the team after Victor Oladipo got hurt. 4 rebounds, 2 assists. Their 6th man, Domantas Sabonis. There we go. See, I'm getting it right today. 14 points a game, 9 rebounds, 2 assists. Miles Turner has really had a good year. He's had a great year, actually. 13 points per game, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. His 2 blocks led the league. So congrats to Miles Turner. Thaddeus Young, 12 points a game, 6.5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal. He's the guy that does dirty work for them. He sets the hard screens. He gets the 50-50 balls. He grabs the boards. He does what needs to be done. Darren Collison, once regarded as one of the fastest players in the league. 11 points a game, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. Great facilitator, not so much a great scorer. Can definitely run when you need him to run. Wesley Matthews, known as a 3-and-D guy. we call it. You can play defense, and you can shoot threes. That's what Wesley Matthews specializes in. 10 points a game, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. Tyreke Evans is also good off the bench. 10 points a game, 2 assists, 2 rebounds. So, in this game, the loss of Marcus Smart really hurts the Celtics. Hopefully he can come back at some point at the end of this, near the end of this postseason. Hopefully they can make it a little bit further and he can come back. 6 in steals. He was a lockdown defender. His career high, he shot his career high from 3-point line at 36%. So he was having one of the best years of his career before he got injured. So, but I'm still going to take the Celtics in this series. They're going to win off star power, but it won't be easy, especially without Marcus Smart being there to take away the Pacers' strengths. But seeing as they don't really have an offensive strength, I'm still going with the Celtics. They're not going to sweep them. I think the Pacers are going to take one game. But the Celtics will win this series. Moving on. Trailblazers versus the Thunder. This is the number 3 seed Trailblazers versus the number 6 Thunder. This was another good game. Well, this game was better than the Celtics-Pacers game. But this game, this series, let's start off with the Thunder. They went 7th in scoring, most attempted shots in the league, but they were 19th in field goal percentage. So you look for them to make more shots since they attempt more shots than anybody else. You think they make more than most, but they're in the middle of the pack, so that's not good. That means they're taking bad shots. 22nd in three-point percentage, 6th in free throws attempted, 28th in free throw percentage. So they get to the line a lot, but they don't finish. So first in offensive rebounds, so they have a lot of chances. That's the reason why they have the most attempted shots in the NBA. They get more offensive boards than anybody else. Second in rebound overall, 23rd in assists, first in steals, so that's extra possessions as well. 27th in fouls at 22.4. They get a little over-aggressive at times, but that's just part of their play style. That's who they are. 9th in point differential at plus 3.4. Key players for them, of course, is Brody, Russell Westbrook, Mr. Triple-Double. 22 points, 11 assists, 10 rebounds. Another triple-double season for him. 2 steals in addition to that. He led the league in assists. Paul George was second in the league in scoring with 28 points a game. 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, led the league. 38% from three-point line. Steven Adams, 13 points a game, 9 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block. Also, I want to add that Paul George is a top MVP candidate. It's between him. Well, he was before he got hurt. I'll say that. He was a top MVP candidate before he got injured. His shoulder got injured in the middle of the season. I think he was the front runner before he got hurt. But anyway, Jeremy Grant, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. He's their best shooter, 39% from the three-point line. Off the bench, they have a few key players, including Dennis Schroeder, 15 points a game, 4 assists, 3 rebounds. Markieff Morris, that's the brother of Marcus Morris on the Celtics. 6 points a game, 3 rebounds, 33% from 3. So he's not as good a shooter as his brother is, but he can knock down a few shots. The Trailblazers on the other side of that, they are 3rd in offensive rebound. I put an asterisk by that. So we're going to come back to that. They are also 3rd in rebounding overall, but there's an asterisk by that. 7th in point differential at plus 4.2. 25th in steals, 25th in assists, 2nd in free throw percentage, so they make their free throws. 5th in free throws made, 9th in three-point percentage, 6th in scoring. So they're one spot ahead of the Thunder in scoring. Their key players include Damian Lillard, the Dame Dollar, 91% free throw shooter, 25 points a game, 7 assists, 4 rebounds, 1 steal, 44% field goal percentage, 36% from the three-point line. Next guy after that is C.J. McCollum, 21 points a game, 3 assists, 4 rebounds, 45% from the field, 37% from three. These are their two scorers. These are their two biggest names. They shoot a lot of threes. They take moving jumpers. They can score in a variety of ways. These two have the full arsenal. Enes Kanter, 13 points a game, 8 rebounds, 1 assist. He's a key player in this series because he used to play for the Oklahoma City Thunder alongside Steven Adams and Russell Westbrook. So he knows those players very well, has practiced with them. He knows them in and out. So that's huge for this Trailblazers team. I believe he had a pretty good game today as well. Rodney Hood is always a good addition to the team. Another 3-and-D guy. He can hit threes. He can play great defense. 9 points a game, 1 assist, 1 steal. No, 1 assist, 1 rebound, 45% from the field, 34% from the three-point line, so he can hit a few shots. Of course, Seth Curry, their sixth man and their best shooter, 45% from the three-point line. He's averaging 7 points, 1 assist, 1 rebound. Al-Farouq Aminu. I think that's how you say his name. I hope I got it right. Y'all know who I'm talking about if you watch the NBA, if you watch the Trailblazers. Aminu. 9 points a game, 7 rebounds, 1 assist. This guy's effort does not go into the stat sheet, but he is an effort player. He makes a lot of hustle plays. He plays great defense at times, and he can score a few baskets, get you a few offensive boards. He can do what you want a role player to do, you know? But in this series, I'm going to say the loss of Nurkic hurts this team to the point where they cannot win this series, man. And that sucks. He was scoring 15 points a game, 10 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and a block. That's too much production to replace. Even though Kenneth Santer is familiar with the Thunder, they're familiar with him as well. So I just don't think that the Trailblazers have enough. And I feel like if Westbrook stays out of Paul George's way, the Thunder can win relatively easy. That's what I think. But the game today really kind of changed my perspective a little bit because I didn't know that Paul George was still hurt like that. Like, he's being wrapped up in the middle of the game on the sideline. So he gets wrapped up, and then when he's ready to go back in, he has to take the wrap off. Like, that's way too much. He should not have played this game, and that showed. He did not have a great game. And I don't think that's the second star player I've seen try to play through the injury. Like, I commend your competitive spirit, but at the same time, you have to know when you're not there. You cannot go out there and not play 100% in the playoffs because every game means something. Every single game. It's not like the regular season where you can, okay, I'm going to go out there and try. Like, no, you don't have games to waste. Your team is depending on you as a star player. So, but I'm still going to say, even after the game today, I'm going to say the Thunder are going to win this. At first, I was going to say 5 because the loss of Nurkic is huge. But I'm going to say Thunder in 7 now. That's my prediction. So, moving on to the Bucks and the Pistons. It's number 1 seed versus number 8 seed. The Pistons do not have a lot of great things to talk about. Let's just be real. This team is 26th in fouls, 29th in blocks, 22nd in steals, 7th in points allowed. So that's nice, but they're 25th in opponent field goal percentage. So the team that they play usually hits a high field goal percentage. 26 in assists, 5th in offensive rebound, so that's right, that's good. But they're 24th in defensive rebound. So it seems like every time they have a good stat, they have a bad stat that combats that same stat. So there's not a lot of things that you can talk about this team. 23rd in free throw percentage, 23rd in three-point percentage, 6 in threes attempted. They take a lot of threes. They just don't make a lot. 29th in field goal percentage. There are only 30 teams in the league. They're 29th in field goal percentage. 25th in scoring. That's ridiculous, man. How are they in the playoffs? This makes me so mad as a Heat fan because we didn't make it. Like we weren't a lot better than that, but we weren't that. That's just terrible. Key players for them: Blake Griffin, 24 points a game, 7 rebounds a game, 5 assists. Andre Drummond, 17 points. His 15 rebounds led the league again for the third time in 4 years, man. This is second year in a row, third time in 4 years. The only person that kept him from getting the 4 in a row was Hassan Whiteside, Miami. Like, it just makes me so mad. But anyway, I'm gonna let that go. But he led the league in offensive rebounds as well with 5. 1 assist, 1 steal, which was 7th in the league. It was 1 point something. I didn't write the whole decimal down, but it was good enough for 7th in the league. 1 block. Reggie Jackson, 15 points a game, 4 assists, 2 rebounds. He's kind of off and on. Sometimes he can be great, and other times he'll just be So he doesn't do anything great. I'll say that. He'll have a couple good games, but he doesn't do any one thing great. So it's kind of just one of those players that's just like you don't really know what you're gonna get. But Wayne Ellington is somebody that they took from the Miami Heat. We just keep coming back to it. We traded him to the Pistons. So he scored 12 points a game, 1 assist, 1 steal, 37% from 3. He's their shooter. I know because I've watched him knock down threes for us. I believe we had him 2 years, 3 years maybe. Knockdown shooter. When he gets hot, he's hot. You can't really do much about it. You can have your hand in his face. It doesn't really matter. He's going to knock down shots when he's hot. Point blank. But moving over to the Bucks. This #1 team in the league. This is most wins in the whole league. Congratulations. Highest scoring team in the league at 118. 6th most field goals attempted. 3rd most field goals made. 3rd highest field goal percentage. 2nd in threes made and attempted. They only shot 35% from there. But they are 1st in defensive rebound and 1st overall in rebounding. 7th in assists, 2nd in blocks. 5th fewest fouls in the league, so they play clean and they get blocks. So it's a pretty tough team to beat on defensive end. League high point differential of plus 8.9. So this team can blow you out if you lose focus in the middle of the game. They can really get away from you. 11th in points allowed, 1st in opponent field goal percentage. So this team, they can tire you out on the defensive end. And if you show them that they're tired, they're going to take advantage of that. They had that killer instinct to take off like that. As soon as they smell blood in the water like a shark, they're after you. You're done. Key players for them is Giannis, of course, the Greek freak. Top MVP candidate along with James Harden. 3rd in points per game at 27 points per game. 6th in rebounding at 12. 5 assists a game. 1.53 blocks a game, was 10th in the league. So he was top 10 in all 3 of those categories. Points, rebounds, and blocks. 1 steal a game. Chris Middleton is another player to look out for. 18 points a game, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. He can do a little bit of everything. Eric Bledsoe is a player that I've been impressed with. 15 points a game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. He used to play out of control very often, using his physical talents, but he used them to where it kind of like it looked like he was thinking that's his only strength. Like that's his premier attribute is his physical abilities. But he figured out how to use those and figured out how to keep it under control. And he's really done a great job this year. Brook Lopez, 12 points a game, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. His 2 blocks were 4th in the league. So that's huge. This guy also has really great 3-point range. He can pull up from way outside. It's crazy. This dude is tall. He's tall as a mug, and he can shoot from almost half court. Like, how do you guard that? But Nikola Mirotic is another player to watch out for. 11 points a game, 5 rebounds, 1 assist. Off the bench, they got George Hill, Pat Connaughton, and Ersan Ilyasova. They all score 6 points a game. Pat Connaughton gets you 4 rebounds, as well as Ilyasova. Connaughton also gets you 2 assists. George Hill gets you 2 assists. George Hill also gives you 2 rebounds. This is a veteran team. That's what really helped them out this year. They have players that have been there before, and George Hill and Brook Lopez and Eric Bledsoe. They have players that know how to close games, and they have very high basketball IQ overall as a team. You see them doing some things, you're like, wow, that makes a lot of sense watching them play basketball. But Malcolm Brogdon is still out without a timetable, so that's big for them. He was a starter. I still say the Bucks cruise to a 4-0 sweep of the Pistons because the Pistons just can't score. 29th in field goal percentage. That offense is going up against the team with the lowest opponent field goal percentage in the league. Like, you can't score against this team as it is, and y'all can't score anyway as a team. That's the sweep all over it. Like, that's a done deal. That's a wrap. But moving on to the final game, the Houston Rockets, number 4 seed, versus the number 5 seed Utah Jazz. Starting off with the Jazz. 4th in points allowed, 8th in opponent field goal percentage, 3rd in blocks, 29th in field goals attempted, and that's in part because they're 27th in turnovers. Take care of the ball, man. We talked about this. 10th in field goal percentage, 10th in three-point percentage, so they can actually shoot if they just stop turning the dang ball over. 3rd in free throws attempted, but they're 26th in free throw percentage. So they get to the line, but they have to make their free throws. They have to. Come on, y'all. 9th in rebounding, 5th in defensive rebounding, 8th in assists, and they have the 4th highest point differential in the league at plus 5.3. So this team can also get away from you using their defense. They can wear you down as well. Key players for them are Donovan Mitchell, my boy. That's one of my favorite players to watch. 23 points a game, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal. High energy player, man. I love watching this guy play. He can fly around. He can dunk it on you. He can shoot. He has everything that you want in a guard. He can play a point, and he can also play the shooting guard. So great player right there, Donovan Mitchell. Rudy Gobert, 15 points a game, 12 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks. His 2 blocks were 3rd in the league. So he's former defensive player of the year. Everybody knows him pretty well. And he's just one of those players that other players look out for when they go in the paint. They see him standing there waiting to get up with them. They might just pass it away. He's just one of those guys that you don't want to see in the paint. You really don't. Ricky Rubio, 12 points a game, 6 assists, 3 rebounds, 1 steal. We all know Ricky Rubio for his energy on the defensive end and his great passing ability, offensive IQ. Can't really shoot that great from the outside, but he has a nice mid-range jumper. So one of the better backcourts to watch play. Really is. But Joe Ingles, we know that name from last year. Locking Paul George down, man. That gets your name out there, man, for real. He just looks like such an old man. He looks like he's about 65 out there playing basketball. But 12 points a game, 4 rebounds, 5 assists, 1 steal. Another key player for them is Jay Crowder, one of my favorite players to watch. Another 3-and-D guy, very intense, very energetic. Just brings that energy to his team. Whatever team he's playing on, he brings the energy to it. 11 points a game, 4 rebounds, 1 assist. Derek Favors, key player for me in this series. I think he has an advantage no matter who's guarding him. Outside of Clint Capella, I don't think there's anybody on the Rockets that can guard Derek Favors, honestly. 11 points a game, 7 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 block. So he's also a defensive presence in the paint. Kyle Korver, 9 points a game, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. You all know about Kyle Korver. He's a knockdown 3-point shooter. We all know that. Those are their key players. Moving on to the Rockets, 11th in scoring, so they didn't make top 10 in scoring. That surprised me this year. I thought they scored a lot of points, but excuse me, 26 in field goals attempted, 25th in field goals made, 24th in field goal percentage. So they didn't shoot as well as people thought they would. But first in threes made and attempted, they attempted 45. 45. I'm not kidding you. They attempted 45 3-pointers a game. That's crazy. Only team above 40 in this league, man. In the whole NBA, this is the only team above 40 3-pointers attempted. That's ridiculous. Why are you taking all of those threes? And it hasn't worked year after year after year with Mike D'Antoni. We're going to get to it. 12th in 3-point percentage. After all those threes, they're 12th. Third in free throws made. 7th in attempts. 9th in free throw percentage. 29th in defensive rebounds. That's terrible. That's almost dead last. In defensive boards, you can't secure the rebound after a defensive possession. Like, come on, man. You're making it hard on yourself. 28th overall in rebounding. So, outside of Clint Capella, we're going to get there too, man. 28th in assists. 6th fewest turnovers in the league, so they take care of the ball. 5th in steals, so they can take away the ball as well. 25th in fouls. 5th best point differential in the league at plus 4.8. 10th in points allowed. 21st in opponent field goal percentage. And 2nd in opponent 3-point percentage. So they can take away the 3 line from their opponent. Key players for them include, of course, the front runner for MVP in a lot of people's minds, James Harden at 36 points a game, 6 rebounds, 7 assists, is 8th in the league. So he led the league in scoring. He was 8th in assists. His 2 steals were 2nd in the league behind Paul George. So he also shot 37% from 3. Chris Paul is another player for them, of course, another key player. 15 points a game, 8 assists. His 8 assists were 4th in the league. 4 rebounds, 2 steals. He was 3rd in the league in steals. Clint Capella. Chris Paul also shot 36% from 3-point line. Clint Capella, 16 points a game, 12 rebounds. That was 5th in the league. 1 assist and 1 block. Eric Gordon, 16 points a game, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 36% from the 3-point line. Off the bench, they have a few key players in Daniel House at 9 points a game, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 41% from 3, so he's their best shooter from outside. Gerald Green, one of my personal favorites to watch. Another high-energy guy that can fly, he can jump. He used to have bunnies, man. He even got hurt a few times, but he had the bunnies. He played for Miami for a little while, too, so I got to enjoy watching him a little bit more often. Getting to cheer for him a little bit more often, 9 points, 2 rebounds, 35% from 3, so he can also knock down 3-pointer. PJ Tucker is their starter at power forward, which I don't understand. He's not a power forward, guys. Come on. 37% from the 3 line. I don't understand the Houston Rockets, man. Mike D'Antoni, what is going on, man? Why is this the formula year after year after year, and it's not working? Why is this the formula? They decide they want to run. They want to force turnovers, run, shoot threes. And they tried that every single year since CP3 got there. And it's like, why don't they have a small forward or a power forward? Like, they don't have anybody that's good to fill those 2 spots. They got Nene. Nene is all right. He used to be one of the better bigs in the league, but he's declined. I have a problem with this, man. I don't like watching this. Like, they come down and they shoot a 3 more than any team in the league. They start 3 guards. And PJ Tucker. and then they start Clint Capella at center. Now, Clint Capella is one of the better centers in the league. He can really grab some boards, but I mean, how many boards do you expect him to get this series? Like, what are you going to do against the Jazz, who have two big men who can block, who can box out, who can rebound really well? What can you do when you face a team with two great big men? Not to say that Derek Favors is just great, but he's good. But that's just, I think that's too much for them. I think that the Jazz are going to take advantage of this, use their size advantage here. And they're going to, as long as they don't turn it over too much, I think they can force Rockets to shoot uncomfortable threes. And they don't have to shoot the three to win. So look for them to do a lot of post-ups, a lot of post-play. Get the matchups that they want. I know that the Rockets will be trying to get their own matchups in the ISO play, but I don't think this team is one of those teams. I don't think they can do that ISO play against the Jazz for a series, man. Of course they're going to be able to do it because they can do it against anybody because they have Chris Paul and James Harden. But I don't think that's going to work in the series. And Kobe said it himself. He doesn't think that James Harden's play style is going to win him a championship. And they're not going to change it. I can tell you that right now. They're not going to change it. So I'm going to pick the Jazz in an upset. Like I told you guys before, I more often than not pick defense over offense. And this defense is serious. I think they're going to be ready. So those are my picks. Go back through and remind y'all real quick. I got the Celtics. I got the Thunder. I got the Bucks. And I got the Jazz. Thank y'all for watching, man. I appreciate it. We made it up to 25 subscribers. How could I almost forget to say that? We made it up to 25 subscribers. Thank y'all so much for the love, man. I keep dropping these content videos, letting y'all know what's going on, man. Giving y'all the numbers. You know who it is. It's your boy, Jay. We out of here.